The Commonwealth Games are a showcase of some of the world's best athletes coming together to break records and achieve greatness in ways no person has done before. Though that's not to say that the Games haven't had their fair share of fails too. And in today's video, we'll be going over some of the biggest fails in Commonwealth Games history. So let's dive right in. First off, the controversy surrounding Cathy Freeman. Cathy got into sports when she was very young. She claims to have become hooked on running when she won her first race at the age of 8. Speaking with her vocational officer when she was 14, she said her only goal was to win an Olympic medal. She'd already won national titles in the high jump, as well as the 100, 200, and 400-meter sprints. Freeman had the ambition to get international recognition as she prepared for the Commonwealth Games. All of the hard work finally paid off when at the age of 16, she won her first gold medal in the 4x100 relay at the 1990 Commonwealth Games. But here's where the controversy comes in. Freeman was born in Mackay, Queensland, and she belonged to the Indigenous community. When she won the gold, she wanted to represent her community. Cathy caused a stir at the 1994 Commonwealth Games by carrying the Aboriginal flag as well as the Australian national flag during her victory lap in the 200-meter sprint. The problem is that the flag wasn't recognized as an official Australian flag at the time. When Cathy won the gold in the 400-meter sprint at the 2000 Olympic Games, it was viewed as a historic moment for the nation, symbolizing the Australian people's desire for reconciliation and pride in her Aboriginal cultural heritage. The vice president of the Australian team said that Freeman shouldn't display the flag again, but he was shunned by everyone, including the president of the Commonwealth Games. We definitely think that's an epic fail on the part of the vice president there, and a huge win for Cathy. Next up, an Indian wrestler gets banned from the Commonwealth. Our next fail is about a wrestler who got banned for life for getting too up close and personal with a referee. Wrestler Satender Malik took his anger out on referee Jagbir Singh by punching him after he lost the bout in the 125-kilogram freestyle category during the Commonwealth Games selection trials. This prompted the Wrestling Federation of India, WFI, to impose a life ban on him. After losing to opponent Mohit, Satender sprinted across the mat to assault the referee. Mohit carried out a takedown move and also pushed Satender out of the mat for another point with just 18 seconds left in the deciding bout. But referee Virender Malik didn't award Mohit 2 points for the takedown move and only 1 point for the push-out. Mohit was upset by the decision and requested a challenge. Satyadev Malik, the bout's jury, removed himself from the decision for the sake of fairness because he was from the same village as Satender. Senior referee Jagbir Singh was summoned to investigate the challenge, and using TV replays, he determined that Mohit should be awarded 3 points. The score became 3-3 and remained that way until the end, when Mohit was declared the winner based on the criteria because he had scored the bout's final point. Satender lost his cool, walked across to mat A, where Ravi Daya and Aman were locked in the 57-kilogram final, and assaulted Jagbir in front of the president of IWC. As you'd expect, he got a lifetime ban for this act. A fail we can't forget is when an Australian athlete crashed the Glasgow Games closing ceremony. During singer Kylie Minogue's performance, Genevieve Lacaze, the Queensland high jump runner, joined dancers on stage. Lacaze claims she had no idea her impromptu stunt would garner such international attention. While talking to reporters, she said that she was living in the moment a little bit. It was her 25th birthday, so she was celebrating probably a little early, and she just saw the opportunity to get on stage with Kylie. Her dance moves sparked outrage on social media, with many wondering if she was part of the act. She said that while she likes to think otherwise, she definitely isn't the best dancer. Luckily, Lacaze wasn't given a microphone because she would have embarrassed herself even more. According to the 25-year-old, she attempted to blend in with the dancers. She kind of weaved in between everyone and made it look like she was meant to be there, but her colorful tracksuit made her stand out. Security quickly ushered Lacaze from the stage, but she says they weren't heavy-handed. While she was at first worried if her actions would get her in trouble, she later told the reporters that everyone in Glasgow had been overly nice, including all the volunteers and helpers. They just kind of took her off and told her to go find her country, and she was like, fair enough. She has responded to criticism that her actions were foolish and potentially dangerous and could have potentially landed her in jail. Moving on, there are the controversial comments by Arthur Tunstall. After Arthur Tunstall called the wheelchair racers, one-leg swimmers, blind lawn bowlers, and other disabled competitors an embarrassment, the issue caused a huge controversy at the Games. George Heller, president of Victoria Commonwealth Games Society, said that Arthur Tunstall didn't represent the majority of Australians, and this was embarrassing for him to say. He was a minority of one. It was ensured by the Australian team's leader that disabled athletes wouldn't be ignored at the Commonwealth Games. The president also said that these athletes were by no means a disgrace. They served as an example for all of us to move on with our lives. The controversy started when Tunstall was interviewed by the Australian Associated Press and the Canadian Broadcasting Company. He argued that it was improper to include impaired athletes in the Games. Reporters surrounded the 72-year-old Tunstall everywhere he went, as word of his remarks remarks spread. Prince Edward left a meeting at the University of Victoria, but photographers ignored him and pursued Tunstall down the sidewalk. Sonny de Salis, the retiring chairman of the Commonwealth Games Federation, became irritated when reporters kept asking him about Tunstall. He even lashed out at the reporters, asking just what they wanted him to do about it. And up next, a big fail when Northern Ireland gymnasts weren't allowed to compete. Gymnasts from Northern Ireland battle for identity at the Commonwealth Games. When 3 Northern Ireland gymnasts, Rhys McClenaghan, Eamon Montgomery, and Ewan McAteer, were elected to compete for Northern Ireland in the CWG 2022, they were disqualified by the International Gymnastics Federation, FIG. However, the controversial decision has since been reversed, and McClenaghan told a PA news agency that he'll be unable to defend his title at the Commonwealth Games because the whole situation was so hard to wrap his head around. An uproar of outrage followed the first announcement, with Commonwealth Games Northern Ireland charging that the FIG's actions totally disrespected the Good Friday Agreement. The group has frequently represented Ireland on the international scene after receiving an Irish license. But because Ireland hasn't sent a team to the Commonwealth Games since 1938, it chose to send NIR rather than England, which led to the suspension. One of the 3, McClenaghan, went on to earn a silver medal in the men's pommel horse after the verdict was later reversed. Moving on, Aussie cyclist Matthew Glaetzer stripped of the Commonwealth Games bronze medal. Kate Banks, a former gold medalist in track cycling at the Commonwealth Games, has criticized the Birmingham organizers' choice to demote Australian Matthew Glaetzer from the bronze medal spot in the men's sprint. In a thrilling race, Glaetzer overcame a lead to defeat Jack Carlin of Scotland to take the bronze medal. But after a lengthy discussion that lasted more than 30 minutes, the judges decided that Glaetzer would finish in 4th place for going down towards the inside of the track when an opponent was already there, which caused the 2 bicyclists to barely make contact. Channel 7 analysts Scott McGrory and Kate Banks disagreed with the choice. McGrory said that the length of time it took to make the choice is absolutely exceptional, but he can see why it was done. Banks couldn't have been more in disagreement and responded that she was having none of that. According to her, the only time they came into contact was when Carlin swung back up the track and really touched Glaetzer. If anyone got in the way, it was Glaetzer. She even said that she doesn't see how the Australians will accept this and not feel robbed. Banks was so opposed to the choice that she believed Carlin would also feel uneasy about it. Lastly, wrestling at Commonwealth Games suffered a delay due to technical failure. On August 5th, the wrestling matches at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham were put on hold while officials conducted health and safety checks, as fans, officials, and media workers were asked to leave the Coventry area. Following a match between Zana Berry of Sierra Leone and Danielle Sung Ching Lim of Singapore, there was a delay. The delay had been blamed in the official statement at the time on a technical issue and equipment being rechecked. They had cordoned off the mats. One of the stewards said that she didn't know, but one of them informed her that a speaker fell from the roof. The security guards attempted to enter the media stands but were denied due to a technical issue, according to SportStar. That's a wrap for this video. Which of these incidents do you think was the biggest fail? Let us know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.